I do not have slides here. This is CRI210. I'm so sorry. This is critical analysis. You are with me, Miss Farah. Okay, today I want to show you on how to do your report writing. Now, please remember for this final assignment that you have, the whole report will be 20 marks. Now, I understand that before this we have presentation, but we feel that it will be too much work on you guys and too many things to handle as well. Therefore, we have decided to do it into only one single assignment, which is on the report itself. Okay, so have a look at first we're gonna look at the marking scheme, how I am going to mark your report writing. This is very, very important, and you guys know this is my style. I always show you guys the rubrics because I want you guys to know how the brain will work in order for you guys to get higher marks. Now, in the template that you guys should be able to download in week 12, okay, go to week 12. There is a folder on advertising manipulation. In the same template itself, you will be able to see this rubric. Now, if you see at this rubric, there is three components, which are content and logic, we have language, we also have organization. Now, all of these are different, and I want to show you guys on one example here and how you guys can perform and do well in this. Okay, so first, the highest mark was obviously in terms of content and logic. We want to see into how much of the questions that are managed to be answered and how much you have back up your answers as well. This is very, very important, and I'm going to show you guys in a bit on how you can back up your answers, how to give examples, how to show and illustrate some more to make it better. All right, secondly is obviously on the language. You might want to debate with me on this, but without good language, we could not be able to understand you. Therefore, language is very, very important, and we understand that you might want to argue on this, and not just you guys, but obviously with me as well. I'm not even I'm not a native speaker, but we need to have the essential language in order to get the message across, and being able to understand what you want to say is also important. That is why we have allocated 5 marks on that. Now, this 5 marks will not include very, very fancy language, but rather we're looking at how much we can understand you. Okay, and lastly, on organization. When it comes to organization, in some part of the questions, we ask you guys to give like 2 recommendations, blah blah blah, and those are the things that we want to look into your organization of the thought. How would you make it much more understandable for people who's reading your report? And that would constitute marks in organization. Now, a very thorough and much more specific description of each marks can be seen here. Now, before you submit your report to me, one of the good ways that you guys can improve on your report on is by looking at these criteria, and have a look if you guys have met these criteria, and you should be able to actually predict how much you can get. So if you feel that you have done a good job in your content and also your logic, you might get 6 to 8 marks. Okay, but if you think that you're very confident, it is very good, it could be 9, it could be 10, it could be 9.5, it could be 9.2, depending on each of these descriptors. Okay, so before you submit your assignment, have a look at this rubrics and think, have you met all of these expectation or criteria? Then you should be able to foreshadow or to even guess how much your marks for this assignment. Obviously, I have mentioned to you, I should not be able to reveal to you your marks for this one and also reflection. Now you should be able to know all of your marks out of 65%. And next week I'm gonna give you guys the total marks overall, just to confirm. Might be you guys can get a little bit confused with some of the things on Blackboard. Therefore, I'm gonna make a special Excel document, and you guys should be able to see your whole course marks out of 65 in an Excel sheet. But that one will be next week, because next week is week 14, the last week. Yeah. So let's have a look at how you can do your assignment. Now, I've been getting quite a few emails asking me, Miss, do you paste it here? Do you paste it there? Today, I'm going to teach it. Do not email me anymore unless you're very, very confused, unless what I mentioned in this video is not stated. If I mention in this video and you still ask me questions, obviously I'm going to assume that you did not watch this video. Okay, now here what I've done, I have written down an example. Okay, and I will post this on announcement so that it's easier for you guys to see and have a look. Okay, so the first page is obviously your assignment. Sorry, your advertisement. So for here, if you are doing only one single poster, put the poster here. Now this is very, very important, because when I look at the posters that you gave me in group wiki, unfortunately guys, very, very unfortunate, some of the words are not very clear. Okay, you need to find like a high definition picture so that I can see. Why is this important? This is very important because based on your analysis here, I should go back and look at your advert and make sure that what you said is correct. What you said is tally and can be seen, can be reflected in the advertisement itself. So for this example here, I am using the advert from Pokemon Go. This was quite a sensational application, gaming application that we had back then. I think in 2018 or 2019. I think in 2018. Yeah. So first, in the first page, please give me a title. Give me the topic of your report. Detecting advertising manipulation on what kind of product. Okay. So here, even though, like for example, this one, this is a YouTube or like a video advertisement. So even though this is a video advertisement, I only screenshot some part or even some photo. I put it there just for the sake of context, not only for the sake of context, also for my organization, so that the people or the lecturers who will be looking at this report should have like a background information on the topic that I want to choose. Okay, next one is the group members. Okay, please write your friend's name and also the student ID here, and if you are using a video, please give me the link so that I can look at the video. Okay, so as I mentioned, if you're using a video, make sure that it does not exceed 3 minutes. Some of you guys give me 3 or 2, that's fine. 3 or 4, it's fine, as long as it's not like 3.5 minutes. That's too much. Okay, alright, so this is it. As I mentioned, if you are doing poster, please make sure that the picture is very, very clear. Okay, this is very, very important. If it's not clear, I will deduct marks. I need the picture so that I can compare, okay, your advert with the report that you wrote. Alright, now let's move on into the second page now. So all of these questions you can actually assess, as I mentioned. You can see it in the template here. It's there. It's very, very easy in a way that the questions are very straightforward, but I'm just doing this video just so that you guys understand what I want. Some of the other lectures do not do this, but I feel like because this this is your last assignment and I want you guys to do well in it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Okay. Where is it? What? Okay. Where? Sorry. Okay. Now, so for the first one is in introduction. In the introduction part, there are 2 questions that you have to answer. And this can be very, very easy, very, very straightforward. The first question is, what is the advertisement is trying to sell? So you don't have to think too much on this. This is very, very important. But what I want you to do is that for you to give me some background information about the product or the advertisement. Now, these 2 questions might not be explicitly shown or seen from the advert itself. So you can Google and have a look at what this, for example, my topic here, I'm doing on Pokemon Go. So the information that I got is that the advertisement is trying to sell a mobile phone app on Pokemon Go. This app was released on blah blah blah, produced by Nintendo. Blah. Just give a bit of information about this. Now remember, this is important because of your content. So if you just give me one simple sentence that might create confusion, I have to deduct marks on it. Okay, I'm not saying that you should write a lot. You don't have to write a lot, but just enough information so that we can have like a background knowledge about the advertisement that you're trying to sell. You're trying to do. Now the second question is about who is the target audience or the people who might want to buy this product. So here you might want to consider demographic questions like age group, their gender, your socio-economic background, and provide at least 1 point and explain your answer. Now, the example that I gave here was that this application is emphasized on people who have smartphones, because without smartphones, you cannot do this. And number 2, people who like Pokemon. The targeted age are between 10 to 30 years old all over the world, and this age group can be seen in the advertisement, which portrayed a few adults from different countries, mainly Japan and Europe, with a male adult accompanied by a young child. Moreover, this app also focuses on people who like Pokemon and online games. Other than that, this app is suitable for those who are on the move and who want a laid-back game. The reason why this game is targeted to people who like Pokemon and online game is because the word is in the beginning of the advert are saying, imagine Pokemon in real world. This suggests that this game is enticing to Pokemon fans to play this game, connecting to their world. Okay, so here this is just an example. As I mentioned, whenever that you give a point, so obviously I have given quite a lot of points here, but always back up your points. Now for here, I'm saying that this age group is between 10 to 30 years old. How do I know it? Because in the advert itself, there are, people from different countries. We have people from Japan, and I have, I think, like 2 more separate people in different scenes that are from, I don't know where, so I'm assuming it's Europe there. And so for each point that you are going to say, please back up with an explanation that you can obviously see. So another reason that I said that this game is targeted to people who like Pokemon and also online game is because of the word imagine Pokemon in real world. That this suggests that the highlight of this sentence is definitely Pokemon. So it suggests that this game is trying to lure out, trying to direct the attention of people who like Pokemon and try to connect Pokemon characters in their real life. So that is why I feel like these are the target audience for this product. Remember, for each point, do not forget to give explanation on why do you think this is the case. Okay? Alright, so let's move on into the second part, which is on content and also analysis. Okay, so the first question is, if the consumers see this advertisement, okay, what features do you think would attract the consumers to buy the product? Provide 3 specific examples from the advertisement and explain your answer. Now here, I have given you some tips here. You might want to consider using the word, the images, the background, the animation, and who is, the source of the person in the authority. If you can see some famous people in the advert, you might want to say, this is special because I don't know, Siti Nurhaliza is using this, or maybe like a K-pop band is using this cell phone, for example. So the model that I use is showing or indicating authority, trying to, attract more consumers. Okay, and also think about if there is any reward or incentive being offered in the product itself. So here just now I show you guys some important part of the rubric is also the organization. Now here, because the question definitely mentioned that I need to list out 3 specific examples, yeah? So the way that I organize my report is using this. So A, what is it? B, what is it? And C. So this will help you to get more marks in organization. Not only that, I'm also using different color fonts to actually make it more organized. I'm trying to make it more organized and also simplified for the reader to read and make it more, user friendly in a way. Okay, so let's have a look at the first example. So from the advertisement, I can see that the main thing that is being portrayed in the advertisement is that they are selling and they are saying that this game is actually different from other games. So how do I know it? So I screenshot some part of the video advertisement and put it in my report. Then I give some explanation on the colors, on the the font that is being used, and looking at these. So these are very, very important things that you have to put in your report writing. Now this could be a challenge for people who are using posters. Okay, so think about what are the things that you can put and you can write in this report writing, and please make sure that your advertisement should be able or would be able to answer to these questions. Okay, it's possible for you to use the poster, but if your poster do not have enough wordings, do not have enough content wise, you wouldn't be able to show all of these, which is why some of your friends, I commented in your group wiki, think about what you want to put in here. Okay, because in here this is very important, because it's 10% of your marks. If your poster is only showing one picture and few words, I do not think that it could be good enough to serve as analysis. Obviously, those are very, very impactful advertisements because it's very, minimalistic, and it's also very impactful. But how much would you be able to analyze? If you think that it's not much, I highly recommend you to choose a different advertisement for that. Okay, so as I mentioned, put it in different, maybe you want to put it in different color fonts, you want to put it in different system that you have. Try and do this. So what I did is that I screenshot from the videos because I feel like trying to prove in this report what is it that is being done. Okay, so the second question, in your opinion, what are the worries, inquiries that the customers would have towards the advertisement? Now, what does this mean? So this question means that when you look at the advert, okay, for example, this Pokemon Go advert, what are some of the concerns, some of the questions that the consumers might have or might wonder when they are looking at the poster, or even, as they are looking or watching this video advertisement, what are the things that they might ask themselves? So from this advertisement, when I look at it, the first question that I ask, is it compatible to my phone? Okay, so what type of phone models, smartphone models, should I use to download this game? That is my first question. Second question is that, does this game require a fee? Do I have to pay to play this game? So those are the two things that I ask as a consumer when I'm looking at this very wonderful, very bombastic, very well done advertisement. It's so good that I think that we should pay for it. So those are the questions that I might ask myself. Okay. And please do not forget to give, as I mentioned, whenever that you have your points, please do not forget to explain your answers as well. Okay, the third one is very related to the question before. So the question before is asking if you have any worries or any questions that you want to ask from the point of view as a consumer when you're looking at the advert. Now, is there anything in the advertisement that is indicating or answering to the question that you asked earlier? So the first question that I asked is regarding the phone models. Okay, is it compatible to any kind of phone? How does it work? Okay, and the second one is the downloading process. Does it require fees or not? Okay, from the advert for the first question regarding the type of smartphones, okay, it might be shown, implicitly, not directly in a way, because in the advert itself there are some scenes that shows different types of phones. So here I'm assuming that this is an iPhone, but I cannot be sure very much. That is why I said there is no explicit or direct indicator that mention compatible to both Android and also iPhone. This is obviously an Android, so there is no direct indicator. As I mentioned, if you want to say yes, if you want to say no, you also have to give some evidences from the advert itself. Okay, for the second one, it's not reflected, okay, in this downloading process, because in that 3 minutes of video advert, it does not say. So this one I can put it, so when I say that this is not being highlighted in the advert, I can put it in the recommendation later on here. Okay, next, is there any fallacies that you notice from the advert? So we learn about fallacies, we learn about different appeals to emotion, blah blah blah, all of those things. So I want you to use that information, the one that you use for your test. I don't want a lot. If you can give me a lot, please go ahead and do so. Minimum 1 point, and explain about your answer. Okay, minimum 1 point and explain. Do not forget to explain your answer. If you do not explain, I cannot give you marks in content. Okay, next question. Do you think that the advertisement is telling the truth or telling lies? Okay, so for this advert, personally, I think that this is quite difficult to fathom if you guys are not mature enough to be able to segregate between reality and also cartoons, because obviously this game is based on a cartoon, a very famous cartoon called Pokemon. So the advertisement is trying to integrate between the game characters of Pokemon in our real life. Now, realistically speaking, we can see a bit of exaggeration in a way that the Pokemons are fighting with each other in front of you, but in reality we won't be able to see that. We can only see it in our phone. So to say that this is telling the truth to some extent is a bit hard. It's not really truth, but what I can say is that the features highlighted in the video itself is reflecting the real features that are available in the app itself. Okay, now from this thing, how do you say that it's true or not? So you have to tell me and do a bit of research, have a look at the feedback that was given about the advert. So maybe the advert is telling that 5 out of 5 people like this game. So we'll see if that is correct, because there would be some reviews available online. So screenshot those reviews, have a look at what people think about it, and give a bit of justification in here as well. Okay, that is how you do it. Now let's move on to the final part, which is on conclusion. So for the conclusion, you have to write 2 recommendations to the advert to improve on these advertisement. So the first one, I think that we should highlight to show that this advert is very user friendly, so that the customers are able to understand how is this product is suitable for everyone. Number 2, you can also hire some very famous actor or celebrity to be the model. Or number 3, we might want to consider telling people about the payment fees, because that is not mentioned. That is one of the things or concern that was not mentioned in the video itself. Now for the consumers, what are some recommendation or advice that you want to say to them is that number 1, I just want to highlight that the customers are advised to think realistically before choosing to download this game, because some part of the advert was being exaggerated and not very much realistic. Okay. Number 2 is that I recommend them to look at the review before trying this game, because if you download this might obviously if you download this game, it will take a lot of space in your phone. Not only that, it might download some bugs that will affect your phone as well. So those are the recommendations that I put, and that is it for your report. Okay, so I'm gonna post this example on Blackboard. Have a look at it. Please make sure. Now what I want you to do now, go back to your group wiki, have a look at my comments, and if you think that some part of your advertisement wouldn't be able to show or even answer some part of the questions, I think it's best for you to change the advert. It's not too late to change it. This one is due next week on Friday. You still have ample of time. So for those who have started working on this and you want to ask me questions, please go ahead and do it. You can show me a draft and I can tell you how to improve on it so that you can get higher marks in this final assignment. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys. Bye bye.